So,
Did you have a presentation about renewable energy?
I don't know enough about renewable energy. I should, but that's not a main topic on the agenda.
No.
No.
What's your favorite topic been so far?
My favorite topic, I think it's the discussion about privacy. Really?
Yeah, does privacy exist, or should privacy exist?
It should exist, and it's it's getting more difficult to keep it.
For who? Us or you guys?
Well, for me, because you're following me with a camera.
In a public place?
Yeah, for you're in a public place too. Mm-hmm. So I just wanted to have a look here.
Are we, when our emails are being infiltrated? And
you're not very organized. You talk to each other.
I'm talking to you.
Sorry?
Did you talk about Bitcoin?
No.
Yeah, did you meet Peter Thiel?
I saw him.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
How's he?
Well, he should be one of you. Hearing from what he had to say, he has quite some libertarian views.
He is a self-proclaimed libertarian. But
no government, no taxes, no new world order. It's what you love, I guess, isn't it?
Why is he in there then?
Do you believe in a global system for us?
No.
Do you think that's more efficient?
I believe in cooperation internationally. Mm-hmm. I think you do too.
Yeah. What kind of cooperation?
I think democratic governments should cooperate. People should cooperate.
And
NGOs should cooperate. I'm from Greenpeace originally. So
why is a lot of the policy made from one place then in Europe?
Here, well, oh, you mean Brussels?
Yes.
No, it's Brussels, but it's also all the capitals. Actually, the problem is that the policy is not always made in Brussels, but it's made in Berlin, Paris, London, Amsterdam, Rome, and they don't agree with each other, like you do too, I guess.
Isn't that good to have all these different states and nations butting heads about things? So, because when you have one group or individual deciding the future of global economies,
that wouldn't be good, eh?
It wouldn't be good, would it?
True. No.
So this is why people are concerned about meetings like this.
But on the other hand, let's take an issue like climate change. You can only fight climate change as a world community. It doesn't have.
Not everyone agrees about the kind of climate change we're fighting.
Well, let's say we talk about rising CO2 levels having a damaging effect on our climate. So let's assume that we do that.
But the ice caps have been increasing in size, actually.
But it's a scientific debate that's not settled yet.
All right.
We need a carbon tax.
Science is about debate.
I know there's a lot of debate, but can you wait until the science is settled?
Can we throw tax money at the problem?
There's no such thing as settled science.
No, that's what I mean. So you cannot wait.
It's a process.
Well, yeah.
So we should throw money stolen from taxpayers to try and solve an issue that may or may not be the issue.
Who agrees with that? Who agrees with that climate change should not be an issue and we shouldn't do it?
I didn't say that. I said there isn't a consensus on how to fight the issue, whether the issue is man-made, whether money can solve it.
Let's say we try to agree on the fact that renewable energy is part of that solution.
What about for countries like Africa and India? They're still trying to develop, and it's too expensive for them to have renewable energy sources.
That's why we should help. That's why we should help each other. That's why where we started the discussion. That's why the world community should work together.
How do you help Africa develop with renewable energy?
By making it cheaper. China itself does a good job in that, by the way.
Have you read the IPCC?
The Rothschilds, for example, or the Rockefellers, they are like very powerful families who have some very influential.
And that's why we need governments to oversee banks and to regulate banks. For instance, in the banking union.
Bilderberg? Who oversees Bilderberg? Who oversees all your talks?
Well, basically, Bilderberg is not. Bilderberg is a meeting in there. I'm walking outside. You oversee me. Well, not the Dutch people oversee me. And there's other politicians inside that you can vote for or against.
But to a certain degree, only they're very. In Denmark, they've made laws now, so we can't really look into what they're doing.
Is that correct? Is that true?
Yeah, often it's called in Denmark. So they make more and more laws to make a bigger distance between the people and the people.
Then you should throw them away if you don't like it.
It doesn't seem to be working.
Why not? Every 4 years you have an election.
Yeah, but we don't choose who we are able to vote for.
They don't speak about serious things in the election.
Well then, but you know what you.
In that moment,
but you are a person with
something like for the.
You can vote. You can vote. You know what you think is important.
Yes.
So you vote for what you think is important.
Voting has done a great justice to the people.
I don't think that the Danish they vote to send their son to the American wars to die in Afghanistan.
I don't think so either.
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
Many boys, they died.
I know.
Because someone wanted to become secretary of NATO.
I don't think so. I don't think that was the. I don't think that was the reason.
Please.
Oh, George Bush, his assistant later on admitted that he's together with Anders Fogh Rasmussen had discussion to give him this position in NATO.
But we had
Afghanistan war.
Well, we had similar discussions in the Netherlands with Secretary General Jaap de Hoop Scheffer. He was a Dutchman.
Yeah.
But that's a discussion you have. I mean, there's always people who think or have good reasons to think that this was something behind it. And then you have a democratic discussion. And if you don't agree with it, you send the politicians away that did it. That's how it works.
1 million people on the street demonstrating.
But there's 90 million Britons. So I'm sorry about in the end.
1 million on the street. You know how much that is.
Well,
1 million on the street.
And then they had an election.
Yeah, but nothing happened.
No, that's not true. Labour lost, partly because of the Iraq War.
No one went to jail. No one was,
maybe but that's different. If you don't agree with somebody, he doesn't have to go to jail.
But it's proven that
yes, they have to go to jail.
Killing thousands of people.
If they do something wrong in the criminal court.
The Danish army has handed out people to the Danish military that later on has been tortured and sent to Guantanamo Bay. That is a direct violation of the UN law.
And then a judge should judge about that.
Yeah,
we are a democracy.
But no court will take these people to
Why not?
I don't believe you totally believe that. I don't believe that you're that naive.
Can I ask you a question about policy making? Can you confirm or deny if Bilderberg is part of policy making process transnationally or multinationally speaking, or global governance, if you will? Is this part of the policy making process in your view?
I deny the fact that there is the policy making process as such, but
consensus.
Going in there learns me something. I'm going out of there
with certain narratives, right?
I go out of there with new information.
Well, perhaps you're not invited to all the meetings.
I can tell you, I go out of here with new information. I'm a politician. I take all kinds of information from all kinds of parts of society. Inside that hotel, outside the hotel, here on this parking lot, and then I go home and I decide what to vote in. And I think I use some of the information you gave me, or you.
So institutional learning.
Process.
Are they trying to improve privacy for citizens?
I think you, with all those cameras here, know a lot about intrusion of privacy.
Well, this is a public space. This is a public space, but our privacy is being intruded when cops break down our doors, when we have
No. But I was just joking about the fact that there's a load of cameras here.
We don't think it's a joke. We're really sad that we don't see that as a democracy.
No, it's not. That's not democracy.
You guys are manipulating.
No, but you are not democracy either. You feel democracy. I mean, you're part of democracy.
We don't want democracy. We want freedom.
We want a republic.
Democracy is not freedom, it's slavery.
Since when is democracy? I mean, I have to disagree with you strongly that democracy and freedom is something that is counter.
It has been for a very long time, because if the majority votes, for somebody to go to jail, that's innocent. That's not freedom, is it?
I think you and Peter Thiel could find some common sense, or not?
If you have a republic and you have certain inherent rights that are granted to you by nature or God or whatever, but it's also reinforced by a document which is adhered to, instead of having monarchy working with democracy somehow. Democracy isn't the milestone of freedom, is it?
No, it's not perfect, but I think it's a needed piece of the puzzle to create freedom for everybody. One piece of the puzzle. We need loads more of that. We need laws.
Oligarchy is the answer. Oligarchy is
I don't think there's one answer.
What do you think
I think
about
democracy is a very important piece of the puzzle.
Ruled by oligarchy or what?
Democratic republic. What do you think about a republic system?
Sorry?
What do you think more of a republic system? Where democracy can't overrule certain rights, like the right to your privacy, right to life.
But why? Who's then overruling something?
Because
nobody.
if in a democracy, if you do vote for something democratically,
but in a republic,
then the majority.
You vote for a president.
Yes, there's certain things you should be able to vote for in democracy, but with a republic, you can't vote for certain inherent rights.
Rights?
So you can't vote for a war, an aggression, because that is against somebody's rights. That should not be a democratic process.
And who decides then who goes to war?
Exactly.
Yeah, but who? In your system?
There shouldn't be wars.
Well, that's
right?
nice. Yeah, I like that.
There shouldn't be
Takes to war.
because if we
I like that.
we can't fund war.
No, I know, but I
also maybe a more direct.
It's a result.
Element.
Yeah, war is a result of our system.
If we only have representative democracy where we can vote for a representative every 4 years, it's really.
I see what your point, but that's not.
What I'm saying is,
you were not saying the same thing, but I agree. I see your point. It's Switzerland or California, if you want.
Yes.
And therefore, we have a democracy in which you discuss about what we just discussed climate change. And to be honest, expecting you here on this place, I expected a group that was unisono of the opinion that climate change is something that we should try to prevent.
That's ridiculous.
And there we are.
And we know it.
Oh, that's nice.
We cannot believe that you're lying.
And do you agree with him all? Yeah. Do you all agree with him?
Yeah.
So CO2 is not a problem?
Do you guys think that IPCC is a good thing?
Gas that gives life.
IPCC a genuine
life gas.
I want you to speak.
Well, no, I'm not going to speak in public.
Why don't you think more people are coming out? Mr. Samson, why don't you think more people are coming out like you and trying to gauge us?
I don't know.
I mean,
I don't control them. They don't control me.
Are you just, have a positive outlook on us?
Well, that's up to you to judge.
Yeah.
I don't know.
They don't want to
engage. A very negative outlook on you.
Maybe you do, and I'm trying to gauge you now.
Then it would be a bad thing for me to be out here, eh?
I don't know. Know your enemy.
I think so.
Yeah, let's do that. Okay.
Climate change is a hoax.
Everybody who believes that the climate change thing is a hoax, raise your hand.
Please give us the stream.
It's a hoax. It's a hoax. Yeah.
Well, then we democratically agree that climate change is a hoax.
Thank you. Thank you.
But is it against the law in Holland for a public elected person to meet behind secrecy behind doors?
I do that every day. Everybody does that every day. You do that every day. I do that every day.
I'm not.
But we have no influence.
Sometimes in a discussion like when you are discussing with somebody who's not a public person, he doesn't like to be confronted with a camera. And yet I want to know something. So I go to that person without a camera, out of the public, to know more about an issue. And then I come out and I'm responsible for everything I do myself in public.
So could there be disclosure afterwards, after the meeting?
No,
could there be written disclosure for the public?
I'm not sure whether you want it in any form or whatever, written or on camera or whatever.
But there is is that a possibility?
Every member here is responsible for his own actions. I'm for my actions, so I talk about what I do.
You're allowed to speak about what goes on in detail?
Yeah. I'm not. We agreed with each other, and that's part of the rule that I just explained. We agreed with each other that I wouldn't say anything about what another person said. I'm only responsible for what I say and what I heard.
That's interesting. That's an interesting way to put it.
Well, that's Chatham House rules, as they call it.
It is a problem, isn't it?
It's a dilemma. It's not a problem in itself, but it's less transparent than you would want to.
Exactly.
But I need it, and you sometimes need it too.
But we are your boss. You working for us.
Well, then you should impose a law that prevents me from going in.
Yeah, but you're the one who makes the laws.
No. You are my boss, so you just told me.
Yeah,
so you can tell me which law I have to make. But first of all, you have to find a majority to take that.
Exactly, but
that's the problem with democracy.
It is the arrogance also from you.
The problem with democracy is that you not always get what you want. Yeah, that's true.
Never. Isn't that an issue that the democratic process didn't?
Sometimes it works the other way around. Sometimes you vote to get something out of it.
Isn't that the complete opposite of democracy, when something's imposed on you and then you have to fight to get it out? Shouldn't we have had a say whether to fluoride or water?
I don't think you have a problem with fighting for something, don't you?
Yeah, but I'm losing.
No. I lose every day my fights, and you win some too. And part of democracy, part of being a politician, is that I try to become better every day. And therefore you sometimes go into a hotel room with scientists and business people, and sometimes you stand on a parking lot with loads of people around you with a camera. And both events make me a little better.